often you have these sci-fi technology movies that gives us chilling takes on the future. And in a way, this movie also sort of tries to do that in the latest two Mission Impossible movies. You also see how AI technology can go wrong if it's not used correctly. The concept in this one is that you have ditched all the conventional courts and people are now judged by this AI court. But you get an AI judge. You then have 90 minutes to prove your innocence and change the outcome of the treacherous situation. In this scenario, see how scary such a world could be and how easily such a system can be manipulated into convicting the wrong people. As you saw with the first victim of the Mercy Court, where his brother is of course out for revenge, like often is an important theme of a movie, but more about that a little bit later. If you compare this movie to, for example, Coherence Primer and ARQ, which are those types of sci-fi movies that have cool concepts, but just like this movie, they would have needed a bit more polish to be really good sci-fi movies. Because yes, of course, using the AI technology to settle how people are innocent and those who are not innocent is a very interesting concept. But there are some areas where they could have done a better job, for example with the filming. While the main character played by Chris Pratt sits in this chair and sees all these videos and images at the same time, where basically everything you see is being watched. A lot of those moments, unfortunately, when you see those people at the same time that tries to help him on the screen, and the videos from the past are very badly filmed at times. That's sort of like a number one issue with the movie. On a plus point in this movie is a good role from both Rebecca Ferguson as this AI Judge Maddox and from Chris Pratt as this wrongly convicted man. Rebecca Ferguson plays well as this AI judge that is ice cold and has no feelings. She is like a machine. At first, she only follows what she is programmed to do, but then learns more and more about Hans's thinking out loud in a way. Then you can see the glitch in the program. And she starts to be more and more on the main character's side, trying to help him towards a bid for innocence and get him free from the Mercy Court. In the role Chris Pratt plays, he really manages to seem angry, stressed, and a bit emotional over his wrongly accusation in the Mercy Court, where he is obviously being framed. He does not want to be there. You really see it, how this makes him lash out, how he's angry at maybe himself, his wife, this random black guy that leads him to the truth, and against his own daughter that seems to dislike him at the very highest level. Anyways, he balances those emotions very well, and it is entertaining to watch. The second part of the movie is definitely the most exciting one, because then we see a lot of tension and action, and we see the events turn when Chris Pratt manages, after some hunch investigation, as he calls it, he manages to find another suspect, and it is hugely impressive, this whole network of files and technology that he has on his roster in order to find another suspect that might clear him of all the charges. When they then go all in to find his truck driving around with a bomb with a real suspect that has kidnapped his daughter and murdered his wife for revenge because of his brother that was wrongly judged and killed in the Mercy Court as the first victim. In this phase, that ends with this guy getting arrested, and as Chris Pratt is about to kill him, he is stopped in that effort to do it. Anyways, this part is really edge of your seat stuff, and it makes the movie look a little bit like the very exciting sci-fi movie called Paycheck. That is in stark contrast to the beginning, of course, when you have a decent build-up of what this is all about to explain the concept, but it is never as good as in the second part. Anyways, I will say that the movie in general is quite unique, set aside from a lot of new movies nowadays. It at least tries to do something different than trying to be generic. Although I've heard that it is a comparison to Minority Report, it is a little bit like that, I've heard. At least I have not seen many movies like this. And I appreciate the effort, although of course with a little bit fine-tuning, it could have been so much better. But it's a movie that has balls to try to be a unique sci-fi movie, and I land on a 7 out of 10.